You've come too late! The ritual has begun and you cannot strike me down! You are the one who killed my brother Uafa, are you not? I will grant that you are likely a formidable foe. But once I become a lich, I will burn you to cinders. There's nothing you can do to stop me now! The ritual has begun, and I am already bound to the Anse ward as it is bound to me! If you strike me down, the blade will be shattered! You broke the Anse ward. You think that will stop me? I am not finished.
After so many centuries, it is a wonder I can still be surprised. I could not abide the necromancer corrupting my ward, but I was powerless to stop him. Your actions have shattered the blade, but you made the right choice. You have my gratitude. Shattering the blade was the only way, albeit there were consequences. Necromantic energy was released, causing the dead of Tava's blessing to rise. The necromancer himself is not a lich, but he has become a powerful spirit. No, he cannot be slain now. There is a way, but I am fading. With the ward broken, my strength wanes quickly. I will presently go to the far shores unless you can reforge the blade. We need the gods' favor. For Tava, capture the desert wind. For Morwa, get the milk of a goat. And for Zet, gather the earth from a fallen warrior's grave. With these elements, reforge the blade. Then bring it to the Anse shrine.
You are undone by your own heroics, dog. I may not be a lich, but I have an army of undead. You will die. You will die, and then you will join my army.
meddled with my affairs long enough. It is time to end this.
Yes, the time has come to end this evil.
What are you doing here? Your ward is broken, Ansei. You are no threat to me.
Now, take the ward and use it to trap Alasan.
What are you doing? No!
I feared that after all these years, my sacrifice would prove to be of no avail, but you performed admirably. We cannot kill that necromancer, but he will trouble us no more. He became some kind of specter, and he bound himself to my ward, but that allowed me to imprison him within it. He is contained now. The important thing is that the ward is restored and can again protect the Alakir Desert. For that, I thank you. I sense that the third ward is in the greatest peril of all. The sibling of the necromancer who came here is far more skilled in the dark arts, far more dangerous, and far more ambitious. The sibling I speak of has not been slain, and has possession of the third Ansei ward, but I cannot sense its location. Despite our victory here, the Alakir Desert is still in danger. Whatever has befallen, you must recover the third ward. I do not know, but trust your destiny, for it will lead you where you need to be. First, though, you must secure my ward. Find someone you can entrust with its keeping. I sense that we will meet again. May the gods watch over you until then.
Can never have enough of that.
You work quickly and efficiently, young one. I appreciate that. Did you recover all the ship designs? That's a relief. I'm surprised, to be honest with you. I'm almost certain that spies have been watching the town, and I thought for sure they'd pick this moment to swoop in and steal the designs. Did you see any evidence of anything like that? I knew it! I saw a dark elf slinking around the docks all suspicious-like just the other day. If she had made off with these designs, it could have kept us from establishing naval superiority. Good thing you stopped her. Well, if there's one thing I know, it's that you, my friend, have done your duty here, and then some. You covered the behinds of all the cowards who abandoned the place. The Covenant needs more people like you. I mean that. If you happen to run into any of the workers out there, you tell them they better get their behinds back in here. I don't care if there are necromancers, zombies, or what. If they don't get back to work, I'm docking last week's pay.
What foulness is afoot now? The dead have risen? I thought Alasan was purposefully not raising them. Are we too late? Has Alasan made himself into a lich? He's not? Oh, we should rejoice then! That bastard! I relish the knowledge of his defeat. Without him, the rest of these necromancers do not concern me. Not in the least. What of the Anse Ward? Do you have it? And you brought it to me? That's quite an honor. I promise you, for as long as I live, it will not fall into enemy hands again. Now, only the final Anse Ward remains. But if Uwafa and Alasan are gone, who has it? Another sibling? Who could that be? Wait, Satura did have another child, a very young daughter. I remember her now, nipping at her brother's heels. I do not remember her name. Somehow we must find her, though.
I think I know where to find the third Anse Ward.
I will send word to Sentinel. Perhaps my father, or someone else can recall the name of Satura's daughter. Let's hope we can find her soon.
I cannot tell you how relieved I am to hear that the Anse Ward is safe. I will summon other Ashaba to come here and help clean out the rest of these Rana too. You must go after the third Anse Ward.
It seems the necromancer Alasan underestimated you. I was hiding outside the lighthouse. After you disrupted the ritual, I went in and found Alasan's notes. I think I know where the Withered Hand has taken the third Anse Ward. Hunding's Watch. The Withered Hand is seeking out the birthplaces of the Anse who forged the wards. Just as Alasan did here, they can use these locations to corrupt the wards. The third Anse, Halela, was born near Hunding's Watch. I am sure of nothing, but this is my suggestion for where you should begin your search. There is a wise woman in Hunding's Watch, Priestess Sermon. Perhaps she can give you more insight. Since both Alasan and Uwafa have been dealt with, the Withered Hand may be considerably weakened. Perhaps the third Anse Ward is closer at hand than you realize. If the gods are with you, I believe you will recover it quickly. Yes, and he passed along your message. Though I'd much prefer to stay here, I will return to Master Zorre in Bergama shortly. I only wanted to share what I discovered with you and Prince Azah first. I could spend hours telling you about the role the Third Ward has played in history, but I would only put you to sleep. All you need to know is that the Withered Hand has it, and Hunding's Watch is the best place to start your search. Don't you? You foiled their plans here and at Tuwaka's throne. You defeated both Uwafa and Alasan. I would imagine the Withered Hand is in considerable disarray.
to die.
Another sacrifice.
Nothing wrong with a little opportunistic harvesting.
This militia is falling apart. How much longer does Captain Uznick expect to keep it together?
A beating. That's a fine welcome for a prospective soldier. Those bastards. If they hadn't outnumbered me... I came to join the Saltwalker militia, but a bunch of bandits stopped me, roughed me up, and tossed me to the side of the road. They didn't stop to answer questions, just told me to be on my way. You look pretty capable. Why don't you go up to the camp and figure it out for yourself?
If you're here to join up with Captain Uznick, his day is over. And if you stick around, so is yours. Then we'd have to persuade you to change your mind.
New around here, aren't you? I advise you to have a talk with Captain Uznick. He's the officer in charge of the real militia here. Those of us still loyal to the effort to join the Covenant answer to him, and not Gudars and his thugs.
What? Are you one of Gudar's thugs come to harass me again? You want your arm broken too? I guess not. Apologies, stranger. Ever since the bandits moved into our camp, we've all been on edge. And I suspect they've been scaring away new volunteers. There's bad trouble ahead, if you ask me.
Are you from the Covenant Army? I didn't expect you quite this soon. Well, frankly, we're not ready. Sorry, stranger. I'm expecting a liaison from the Covenant military to visit and decide if our militia qualifies to join them. However, since Gudars took charge, I'm afraid there's little chance of that. Ha! Noticed that, did you? Yes. The camp is divided between those still loyal to the militia and those loyal to Gudars and his promises of easy living and gold. His gang are little better than bandits. I suspect he's up to no good. Because I know Gudars from way back. We were in King Ramses' service together. He was a good man then, and I have to believe there's still some good in him somewhere. Maybe it's just an old man's wishful thinking, but I'm not ready to fight him. And if you find out, maybe then I can decide what to do. Thank you. I accept your offer. Just be discreet about it. I don't want any fights breaking out.
What? You've come to the right man, mate. I've been with Gudars longer than anyone. I was part of the group that helped him take his first ship. That's right, mate. Gudars had a grudge against this Captain Krona, so he goes around and gets together a small gang of boys who are sharp with a blade and none too nice about it. We join the crew, he kills this Krona, and we take over the ship. Oh, we pirated for a while. But now with the war going on, all the navies are at sea and it's too dangerous. So, Gudars comes up with another scheme and we comes ashore to work it. But that's private, see? Only told you because I like you. Keep mum.
saw you talking to Captain Uznagik. I hope he's finally going to do something about these ruffians and thieves. Heard he used to be a pirate. Got his ship by ambushing a captain and cutting his throat in cold blood. Then he claimed the title of captain for himself and made it stick. He'd already gotten a gang of his own bully boys into the crew, and he bought some of the others. The opposition was shouted down or chased off. Same thing again is my guess. He gets his gang to infest the militia, gains our trust, then murders the captain and takes over. Why mess with success?
You don't look like one of Gudar's bruisers. What do you need? Well, you can't just call him a bandit. He obviously has military experience, and he's smart. No doubt about that. He was someone of consequence before he sank to being a gang boss. Who knows? Perhaps he made a mistake and was disgraced and discharged. Or maybe he just developed a taste for gold and blood. Blood. I saw the look on his face when he killed our old captain. He enjoyed it.
I'm half a heartbeat from throwing you out of this camp. Why didn't you say so? I thought you were another Sand Eater come to fight for the Alakir. Gudars is a great man, but he has a tragic history. It's given him a gruff exterior, but his bully boys would follow him anywhere. Because if you're part of his loyal crew, you get treated right. The pick of the loot and back up when you're in trouble. He learned how to handle troops when he was in the army. The Sentinel Army, under old King Ramsay. He was an agent, part of what you call military intelligence. Lived in Tava's Blessing, had a family and little ones. On a mission, he learned that some pirates were planning to raid Tava's. He reported what he'd heard, but the general dismissed it and sent him on another mission. The pirates raided Tava's Blessing and killed Gudar's family. He swore revenge and went rogue. Who could blame him?
What have you learned of my old friend, Gudars? I see. That's terrible. But I don't see much left of the man I knew. And now he's demanding that I leave and take other real militia with me, or die. We have no time left for wishful thinking. He's left us no choice. We have to adopt his own methods. Kill Gudars and cut off the head of the snake. I wish I was certain I'll succeed. Not too old to lead, but single combat against a younger man? Good. I hate to lose a battle in my own camp. Beat the drum in our combat arena, and Gudars will come to fight. He glories in turning the sand red with our recruits' blood, and set this up to show his prowess. It's time to show him yours instead.
Challenge? Good. I saw which tent you came out of, meddler. I'll make your death a painful one. This is your last chance to turn tail and run before I destroy you.
So you did it. I must admit, it's a relief. Traditionally, you would now be in command of the militia. But is that what you want? If not, who should be? Thank you. I appreciate your trust. We'll have to act fast, but the loyal troops and I will get this camp cleaned up on the double. I think the Covenant will be proud of us. Still here? You're welcome to stay as long as you like.
This bird will do nicely. No end to those winged rats. Not that I'm complaining. Every feather's worth a fortune in gold to us now. You one of the magistrate's charges? I'm only shooting the ones in town, don't worry. Don't think about trying to cut in. Danim's got an exclusive relationship with the magistrate. She gets wind of any shenanigans. Not my concern. I get paid for feathers regardless. Go talk to some of the townsfolk if you're that curious. The magistrate's the one who runs this town. Tell him I've got some more feathers coming his way.
Between Sorhill's lead bottom and Wheelbreaker's clumsy carpentry, we will never get the wagon out of this stinking village. I do not wish to stay here. I'm far too young and sleek for such a place. Yes, we are Pandari on our way to Sentinel. We planned to take our goods across the sea. All was well until we reached this wretched place. Surely you have heard of us? We are the wandering litter of elsewhere. Merchants, soothsayers, entertainers. This is ringing chimes, yes? Well, Kunamu is not short on time, so she will tell you. In the long ago time, our people fought many wars. It was a moonless age of fang and claw. Some fled the fighting to wander the lands of Tamriel in search of a better life. Just so. They may have looked for a new home at first, but in time, the road became home. And so it is with us, Var. We gather and sell, entertain, take odd jobs and the like. It's not an easy life, but it is rarely dull. Yes, stuck in this harpy, stinking dung pit. We hate it here. One of our wagons was raided on the road. A flock of these feather-furred dung birds swooped in and tore it to pieces. Then, during our escape, the other wagon broke an axle or some such. I do not care what it is. Kunamu is not a cartwright. Fixed? It may never be fixed. Wheelbreaker here has been toying with it for 2 turns of Joan and Jode. We need tools and wood, but the dungy redguards cannot spare them because they want to repair their homes. Var. Just so. A few more days and maybe Wheelbreaker will have something. This one is doubting it, however.
This one's wagon would not break if we did not steal. If we did not buy so many heavy things.
Business is brisk.
These harpies make bows precious, needful things. Everyone becomes an archer.
What are you doing
Keep
for?
one eye to the skies, friend. The harpies like to swoop down and grab whatever's light enough to carry. I've lost 2 hats and a goat to the feathered villains.
And you don't want to take our... What are
Only
you
after
looking
they've
at?
sucked you dry. I refused to pay their protection fee, and the next day my house was ransacked. I'll keep my own watch for harpies coming near from now on. Sep's entertainment, I can only guess. It's not like one can ask a beast why it acts so. It is simply its nature.
Why?
I'll be right down. You're a new face to me, unlike that flappy buzzard over the barn. What? These birds aren't aggressive. I've had horses do more damage to me than any harpy, and I've had more trouble with these mercenaries than I've ever had with either steed or bird. I saw them steal 4 sacks of good grain from Zilron, a Khajiit merchant, and in the magistrate's name, mind you. Him? Ran off, no doubt. Who knows what he does, or where he hides after he's run amok in the market. He trades more than just grain, if you ask me. You won't be the only one looking for that fairy-tale wretch.
This inn used to be the jewel of Kozenset. It will take months to recoup our losses, maybe years.
Welcome to the... Oh, by Zet's tears, I cannot do it. My inn is ruined. Harpies. Those accursed creatures tore my inn to pieces. This inn has been in my family for 3 generations. These bed frames, pillows, and carpets. This is our heritage. Years of memories. Torn asunder in a moment. Picking drunken fights with beggars, or bullying old women, I have no doubt. They are worse than useless. Fair winds to you, and a steady grip on the haft. If you need a bed there are still some to be had. Perhaps the next time you come through town, we'll be back to normal. Perhaps.
Think you're tough? I've dealt with dozens that are tough.
Welcome to the...
Menace. Poor Zilron's tail is pecked bare. I've been found. Oh, but you are neither Harpy nor Gold Coast Fiend. What a relief. You would be too if you heard those beasts. Those screeching, pecking, clawing beasts. This one had hoped the mercenaries would take care of our bird woman problem. But no, now Zilron has 2 problems. Oh yes, they help themselves to my gold and my goods, and sometimes they help against the Harpies. So, I wait here. Sooner or later, one of Zilron's problems will go away.
Harpies. Bullies with swords. Fangs of Sep. What other plagues must we weather?
Of all the places for the Harpies to strike, they chose our beloved Kozenset. Tall Papa, help us.
The Harpies are much bolder. We need more coin, for supplies and the like.
I've heard disturbing rumors about your methods.
Have you heard about the travelers stirring up trouble in town? And look who's here.
I miss roasting pupil scribs over a
Keep
fire.
your opinions
Sweet
about
and
our
airy,
work to
with a hint of
yourself.
crunch.
A desperate man turns his back on wisdom. Better to unleash a pack of rabid hounds than for our magistrate to welcome into town cutthroats like the Gold Coast mercenaries. Dogs and son of dogs, all of them.
Mercenaries seemed so professional when they arrived. It was quite heartening. But they did not keep their true natures hidden for long.
A desperate man turns...
The cell swords are not as bad as everyone says. Better to have drunken louts for protection than none at all. Is it not so?
Dealing with the Harpies as fast as we can, I assure you. Now please, address any specific complaints to one of the guardsmen. Nothing. I have things under control. I've got a reliable group to protect the town until we're self-sufficient again. And please, don't say anything to Danim. She can get upset when the end of her tenure is brought up. She's the leader of the Gold Coast mercenary troop. I hired them to make up for our shoddy defenses when the Harpies attacked. They get the job done, and that's about as much as I'll say. Death and attrition, the two greatest enemies. Our guards either fell to the withered hand, or one of the other perils of being a guardsman. It's my responsibility to keep this town safe. So I look to other sources. Danim doesn't like competition, and I'm certainly not going to endanger our business arrangement. If I were you, I would keep my stay here brief. Now, if that's all, I'm sure you can see yourself out.
Father, you need to know what's going on out there.
Who is this? Someone come to help?
Enough. I have no patience for your theories.
Fine. If you want the truth, come talk to me. Meet me at my house. It's at the edge of town past the smithy. I'll tell you everything I know. See you soon, I hope.
Damnable harpies. A seamstress of my quality should not be stuck mending curtains.
I do not know who's doing more property damage. The Harpies or those twice-cursed mercenaries. Either way...
It's not safe to talk in the streets. Now I can speak openly. Be at ease. The mercenaries dare not enter my home uninvited. I watched you long before you spoke to my father, Magistrate Andrin Atlahil. You spoke to people in town and listened to their answers. Are you actually interested in helping? I'm the magistrate's daughter, raised here, though now I am a traveling merchant. I came back when I heard of the town's troubles. My father insisted he had it under control. Now I'm doubly sure I returned at the right time. The Gold Coast mercenaries, our supposed saviors from the Harpies, are our problem. They extort and steal from the good people here. And what's more, they've done nothing but make our Harpy issues worse. Since Danim and her friends arrived, the Harpies are angry with the town. They're usually nothing more than flying rats. The Harpies can attack, yes, but only when provoked. And I know the mercenaries are the ones who've provoked them. The mercenaries hid Harpy eggs around Kozenset. Naturally, the Harpies want the eggs back. That's the root of the town's Harpy trouble. We must find and return their eggs so one problem's solved. But first, follow me upstairs.
Don't be frightened. This is a friend. The Harpies are not our enemies. Will you help me convince the others? I rescued her from them. The mercenaries killed her mother and the other chicks in her brood. This creature had done no wrong, yet they would kill her to be paid for her feathers. I couldn't stand by and let that happen. Could you? It's the right thing to do, for us and them. I'll be waiting in the town square for you if you're willing. What do you say? Thank you. I can't do this on my own, and my father won't listen to me until I have proof. I don't think the eggs will be proof enough, but at least they will be safe. She comes and goes as she pleases. This is a wild creature, after all. I do not even name her, for she isn't mine. Once their eggs are back in their eyries, the Harpies won't attack Kozenset. And then we can deal with those mercenaries. Bring me the eggs. I'll wait for you by the town's well. Even though it's in the open, many people exchange goods there, so it won't look suspicious.
Well played, Master Thief.